Sunday's 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Iowa-South Carolina women's championship game was the most watched basketball game, men or women, college or pro, in 5 years, since 2019. As Caitlin Clark tweeted, 18.7 million, all caps, with a fire emoji. Keyshawn, how do you explain this rating?
Well, you got, number one, man, you got star power on both sides. You had star power leading up to the championship game because you went through the LSU whole deal, right? You went through the UConn deal, then South Carolina on their side. North Carolina State, it was kind of like, whatever. We already kind of pinned them in the championship. We were just waiting to see if the shoe would drop for Iowa. It dropped after Connecticut. And then now you got star power all over the place. You got a coach in Don Staley. You got Caitlin Clark. You got Cardoza, and you got a team that's 37-0. You just got all of the sort of things, and you got massive momentum carrying into the championship game to the point where everybody wanted to watch. I mean, it's just, you know, as I told you before, throughout that week and a half, I've never watched 8 hours of women's college basketball, meaning the USC game as well as the Iowa game against LSU. I just never... You know, I've watched 2 quarters here.
Any regret watching it?
Absolutely not. I wish it was on last night.
Did you have fun?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I wish it was going last night.
Were you entertained? Yes, you were.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
I mean, she just captivated me. I mean, her style of play, the level of difficulty of her shots. I mean, once it got to LSU with Caitlin Clark in Iowa, you know, you had... And she drew America in, for one, because you had this one individual. She had other great teammates, but that was outstanding. And you got this small school, Iowa, who's never on the radar for girls basketball like these other programs. She uplifted them to great heights that we've never seen from that program. Now you're going against the heavyweights, LSU, to start off, who was labeled the villains and the defending national championship, so now that caught our eye. And then after that, it was another story. Oh, well, she beat LSU. Well, can she beat UConn? I mean, UConn is the most storied program in all of history.
That is correct.
We've never seen, you know, I mean, Coach Gino, she definitely can't beat Gino, so we want to see if she can do it.
And she almost
so we tuned in again.
Yep.
Then we like, all right, hold on. No way she gonna beat Don Staley. But at that point, America's captivated. We're tuning in. Now you got all of us. You had us here, you lured us in more, and then now everybody joined in the party. If you never watched a college game that night, especially a women's college basketball game, everybody tuned in. I had people telling me they know who Caitlin Clark is, and they didn't know who was playing in the national championship for the boys.
No.
I had people saying, I'm going to watch this game, and had never watched a women's basketball game ever. And so, and then you have Don Staley, like, winning the championship, having probably arguably the greatest individual season for a team to have, undefeated, taking her hat off to her. Thank you for growing the game, Caitlin. That's huge for Don Staley, to go out there.
That was the first thing she said.
That's the first. Thank you for growing the game. Caitlin, you did wonders for us. We appreciate you. And we're talking about Don Staley, who's one of the greatest WNBA players, who I watched not only in college, the WNBA. I followed her here at South Carolina. I've watched a lot of her games, and she's thanking Caitlin Clark for her contribution. So it just kept getting better. My popcorn bag kept getting bigger each round until it got to the championship game. And, you know, I will continue to watch her. If she comes out with a shoe next week, and it's for men and women, I'll get it.
Really?
I'll get it.
Really?
Yeah. Sabrina came out with a shoe. I see guys at the gym wearing her shoe.
Wow.
And so...
That's big.
That's big.
Okay, I start with the fact, Dawn Staley is a superstar to me. And she has superstar charisma and personality. When I watch her, I believe in her. I believe in her power to motivate that team and to coach that team and to have it at the highest level every single night. So we start with that in the South Carolina game. Now let's go back to Caitlin's buildup. She got thrown in what I considered the region of death because they had to deal with Colorado first, and Colorado was a very good Pac-12 team that was a factor. And they run ruled them, man. They just ran them off the floor. It wasn't even, they beat them by 20, and I was shocked by that. And I thought, well, maybe they are pretty good. Where Paul and I parted ways, I still don't think Iowa was a very good basketball team. No, I think it's Caitlin or bust. I think it was, you know, Kate Martin was pretty good and made a few plays here and there, and Gabby Marshall could, if you just left her all alone, she could push stroke that three and make it from the corner. But, man, Hannah Stolke had one huge game against UConn, but she was completely overmatched against South Carolina. So when I look at the LSU game, I still can't believe they beat LSU, but I still think there was a big factor that Angel Reese did turn her ankle late in the first half, and she was not herself in the second half and went 1 for 10. So would Caitlin have survived LSU if she had stayed healthy? I'm going to doubt it, but I don't know for a fact.
Got to go off what you see.
I
Okay.
mean, she went historic.
She
had an
did.
historic game.
No, she had an historic game because that was 41. That was ridiculous.
And she had 41, and it's not like Angel
With the
Reese
12
was guarding
assists.
her.
No, she was not. And I don't know why Haley Van Lith was stuck on her all night long. I thought that was just arrogance on the part of Kim Mulkey. You got to do something different to change it up against her and put Flau'jae on her. She was on her late in the game. But the point is, it was historic. And then UConn is a historic program, and it goes to the last drop. And UConn's got the ball, and I think Paige Beckers is going to take the last shot for the win. And it was a terrible call. They call a moving screen, and again, was it technically? I don't know. I wouldn't have called it. I wouldn't have called it in that moment for sure. But it was hugely controversial, and it let Caitlin and company off the hook because she started the game 0 for 6, and then she had a little better second half. In the first half, she was 0 for 6 from 3. All right. So then you're still thinking, well, is she or isn't she? And then you say, wait a second. What if Caitlin Clark could beat 37-0? Well, could she rise above them? And I'm thinking, I don't know. And all she did in the first quarter was rise above 37-0 because I'm not sure there's ever been a better first quarter than that one played in any March Madness game by any woman ever, because that was just spectacular. She scores 18 in the first quarter, made, what, 3 threes? Yeah. And then from that point, she hit the wall. I don't know if she ran out of gas or she ran into South Carolina. Maybe it's a little both, but she wasn't very good from that. From first quarter on, she shoots 5 of 20 and went 2 of 9 from 3 and never got back to the free throw line after the first quarter. Well, I told you, because they have arrived, I'm going to treat them just the way I would a men's game. And I said, I was disappointed in her, but I was still on the edge of my seat because they hung in and they hung in. And with 4 minutes to go in the game, they got the ball back down 5. And I'm thinking, okay, do it. You know, go work your magic. Go make a logo 3. And all of a sudden, maybe we'll have a down to the wire game. Did not happen. But it kept everybody involved. It kept your TV on. You didn't turn it off. No. You watched it to the end. And then you wanted to watch South Carolina get their just reward. You want to see them celebrate. You want to see them.
I think a lot of that, Skip, what you just said, though, right? You want to see them get their reward. You also want to see Caitlin Clark. So a lot of that dials in. Can she beat a 37-0 team? Can a 37-0 team stop her from being magical? She had 18 points in the first quarter. Then all of a sudden, the next 3 quarters, she kind of just disappeared to a degree. So when you go back and you look at it, I would like to see the Nielsen ratings from the start. And when did it tick? Like, did it tick? Did it drop off in the second half when she wasn't cooking? Or did it go up even more after the first quarter when people was like, oh, my God, this girl's 18. She's doing this on the social media. And all of a sudden, everybody started going to the TV to watch. I like to see that grid on what that looks like. Because when you go back and you look at these ratings, this matchup was the second most watched non-Olympic sport outside, back in 2015, outside the women's soccer game, the World Cup, according to the ratings.
Okay, so you got Olympics and World Cup. Yes. So you got, like, international events, right? And that's the only things that is bigger than that. That's the only thing. The only thing. Okay.
And can we contribute a large amount of that to the rise of Caitlin Clark? Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
So why do we watch sports? What's the number one reason? I can only speak for myself. I want to see something I've never seen.
Right.
She was doing something I'd never seen before A woman was shooting logo threes like they were free throws. She was jump shooting, not set shot, not feet on the floor. She was jumping and shoot. She was creating her own shot and jump shooting logo threes with a flick of the wrist. And every time she shot one, I said, that's a bad shot. And every time it left her hand, I said, that's short, and it wasn't short. And she made enough of them that we started to say, well, we never see, it's the Steph effect. You know, we'd never seen what Steph Curry did, and we'd never seen what she did. But she coupled that with the fact what impressed this man the most is her ability to pass the basketball. It's like textbook, and she's got the gift of seeing it before it happens. She made so many passes on Sunday to her teammates that they couldn't cash because I just don't think they're that good. They're just a mediocre basketball team. And her three-quarter court, up court passes, she'd hit them in stride, and they're running with South Carolina players, and it's like, well, I don't know what to do with this, right?
You don't anticipate Iowa being back here next year?
No, I don't. I don't. And by the way, Caitlin she did have 1 year of eligibility left, and her coach was saying, maybe she should reconsider this, because that's all, that was it.
Because of what we saw from Caitlin, I truly believe this will be a staple in the NBA All-Star Weekend now.
Well,
like this year, how we saw Steph versus Sabrina, we could possibly be seeing Caitlin next year versus
somebody.
Kevin Durant.
Well, I even saw that maybe they'd bring Sabrina back and Caitlin and make it more of a male-female competition with whoever wanted to do it. Maybe Steph wants to do it again.
That shows you how great the game has grown on the women's side. She's going to be a part of All-Star Weekend next year for the NBA. I guarantee that. I would like to see. I'm tuning in. I mean, I probably won't even watch the All-Star game, but I'll watch this.
Yeah.
I'll watch Caitlin Clark shoot out with Steph Curry or Sabrina or Kevin Durant or something like that before I watch the All-Star
because
game.
The three-point shot's the great equalizer because it's without gender, right? You can do, but you could, but I mean, not that many women can dunk.
Yeah.
So, but they're all shooting threes.
You know how the dunk captivated us when Dominique and the dunk contest. But now that's replaced what the dunk is.
Okay.
Now the three. If you can shoot with range and you can make it consistently, it's a lot of ooh, like people jump out of their seat like it was a dunk. Now.
Okay. What was the greatest dunk contest I ever watched? Because I was up close and personal. Because it was in Dallas in 1986. Well, you know what it was.
Here we go.
No, it was a little Spud Webb.
Oh, okay, Spud. Yeah.
Well, you know why? Because he's 5'7".
Absolutely.
We never saw that.
No, and
you haven't seen it since.
You haven't seen it since.
No, we have not
there's
seen
Nate
it.
Robinson.
Okay, yeah.
Nate Robinson,
yeah,
we've
that's
seen
true.
it.
I think
5'7"?
I don't
Nate
think
Robinson's probably shorter than that.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Man, Spud right here, man.
So is Nate Robinson. We saw it, so.
But we got to see Spud go against his best buddy, Dominic. And so we got the human highlight reel at, what's Dominic, 6'9" or 10, something like that?
He's bigger.
Yeah, way bigger. But what I'm saying is we'd never seen this before. And I'm saying, because I couldn't even believe Spud could dunk, period, and he could dunk a lot. Like he could get up.
That doesn't make any sense, though. 5'7"? And he's getting up and in there, though. It ain't like he touching the front of the rim.
That was captivating, and that's the beauty of sports. When somebody does things that you had never seen, it captivates us, and she was able to do that.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be the same next year.
Yeah. Oh, well, LeBron James ruined the slam dunk contest.
He did?
Yeah.
He was never in it.
That's what my guy said.
Wonder why he wasn't in it.
That's what my guy
That's a good question.
My guy Skip said.
I'm glad you brought that back up. Why didn't he just do one when he was like 22 or something like that?
He's a power dunker.
Huh? He would have got, every judge would have given him